From breaking into the home of a famous America's Got Talent judge to a billionaire celebrity getting robbed at gunpoint, these are 15 celebrities who got robbed by goons. Kendall Jenner's robbery was a strange and shocking event that happened at her Hollywood Hills home. What made it really scary was that it happened while she was there. On the night of March 15th, 2017, Kendall had a small get-together at her house. At some point, she stepped outside, and when she came back in, she noticed some of her jewelry was missing. At first, Kendall thought she had just misplaced it, but when she realized more jewelry was gone, she called the police. It turned out that over $200,000 worth of jewelry had been stolen, including some of her expensive and favorite pieces. One of the most mysterious parts of the robbery was that there were no signs of anyone breaking in.
We never heard nothing about celebrities running here.
This made the police think it might have been someone who knew the house well, or even someone who was at the party. This made things even more tense, as Kendall was understandably upset that someone she trusted could have been involved. Next up, the rapper 50 Cent became a victim of a big robbery in 2021 when thieves broke into an apartment building rented by one of his companies in Cliffside Park, New Jersey. The burglars, Travis Villalobos, Richard Murphy, and Matthew Gale, stole a shocking $3 million worth of cash and jewelry. Thankfully, surveillance cameras helped link them to the crime, and a few months later they were arrested. What's crazy is that people were nearby during the burglary, but they didn't know the robbers were still inside. It took about 6 months of investigation before the 3 men were charged with burglary and other crimes. 50 Cent didn't say much about the robbery and kept working on his projects. It wasn't his first time dealing with trouble, and if you've heard his song Many Men, you'll know that 50 understands how justice is handled in the streets. Paris Hilton was famously robbed by a group of goons called the Bling Ring. This is a group of teenage burglars led by Rachel Lee who targeted the homes of several celebrities in Los Angeles. The crime against Hilton was one of the most notable due to her high-profile status and the scale of the robbery. The goons got into Paris Hilton's house through an unlocked window, making it super easy to avoid setting off any alarms or needing to break in. Once inside, they stole tons of valuable stuff, including jewelry, clothes, and other expensive items worth around $2 million. They were able to pull this off without getting caught right away, taking advantage of Hilton's busy schedule.
I came home one night and there was dirty footprints all over the stairs and leading through my bedroom. And the final time they came in, I went into my jewelry closet and saw that everything had been taken.
After some time, the police tracked down the members of the Bling Ring who were arrested for robbing multiple celebrity homes. Chris Brown is another rapper who became the victim of a scary robbery at his home in Los Angeles.
A very scary day for the singer.
Brown's home robbed, his aunt home alone.
A group of armed intruders broke into his house while he wasn't there, making the situation even more alarming. The thieves were heavily armed and caused a lot of damage as they ransacked the place. The robbers stole valuable items like jewelry and personal belongings. It seemed like they had carefully planned the break-in, keeping an eye on Chris Brown's schedule to make sure they hit his house when he wasn't around. Even though he had a security system, the thieves somehow bypassed it and moved through his house without being noticed right away.
His aunt told police while she was asleep, she woke up to find a man with a gun in her bedroom. She describes him as tall, black, and wearing a mask. Eventually, he forced her into the closet, proceeded to ransack the residence, and when he left, she says she called 911, but at that point, it was clearly too late.
The robbery was a big financial loss for Brown, but it also made people question how safe celebrities really are, even with all the security they have in place. Miley Cyrus went through several robberies in 2013 and 2014 that caught a lot of media attention. These incidents involved thieves targeting her homes and stealing valuable items. The first big robbery happened in 2013 when burglars broke into her Los Angeles house and stole jewelry and other expensive belongings. Even though the police started investigating, they couldn't figure out who did it right away. Then in 2014, it got worse when her home was hit again. This time, the thieves stole even more of her stuff.
Couple that broke into Miley Cyrus's house were armed.
The investigation later showed that the burglars were part of a group that had been robbing several celebrities. Eminem is known for showing off his tough side in his songs, but on June 1st, 2019, he had to show that toughness in real life. In a crazy event, a home intruder broke into Eminem's house, and the rapper caught the guy red-handed, all caught on a Ring doorbell camera. It happened at around 4 a.m. at Eminem's house in Detroit. A 26-year-old man named Matthew David Hughes snuck into Eminem's gated community, slipped past security, and smashed a kitchen window with a paving stone to get inside.
Never had any problems. I mean, we've had people, come over there and they want to, everybody knocks on the door and they want to see Eminem. That's why he has security 24/7.
The noise set off the alarm, waking up Eminem. Instead of panicking, Eminem took matters into his own hands. He wandered the house and found Hughes standing in his living room. Eminem personally detained the intruder while waiting for the police to arrive. Once the police showed up, Hughes was arrested and charged with first-degree home invasion and property damage. Here's the crazy part. Hughes wasn't even trying to steal anything. He just wanted to meet Eminem face to face. Well, he got his wish for the price of a $50,000 bond at the Macomb County Jail. More shockingly, later on, Hughes admitted to the judge that he had actually been there to kill Eminem. Luckily, nothing was stolen and no one was hurt, but this close call could have ended much worse. In October 2016, Kim Kardashian faced a terrifying robbery at gunpoint in her luxury hotel room in Paris. A group of armed men dressed as police officers burst into her suite after threatening the concierge. They caught Kim half-dressed and tied her up, gagged her, and locked her in the bathroom. This was one of the most frightening experiences of her life.
That I realized was the concierge because he was handcuffed with the key to my room. What I've heard from talking to him afterwards is they said, where's the rapper's wife? Like, led us up to her room in French. So
the robbers stole a bunch of valuable items, including 2 diamond Cartier bracelets, a gold and diamond Jacob necklace, Lorraine Schwartz diamond earrings, a gold Rolex, and most shockingly, her $4 million engagement ring. It made people wonder if this was an inside job or if Kim had been watched for a while, or maybe even both. Kim believed the robbers had been following her on social media. On January 9th, 2017, French police arrested 17 people in connection with the crime across the country. Just a few days later, 4 suspects were charged. But the twist didn't stop there. Another suspect, Gary M., turned out to be the younger brother of Kim's chauffeur. He was accused of helping with the armed robbery and kidnapping. One of them was a guy known as Omar the Old, believed to be the mastermind behind the heist. The police found DNA on Kim's restraints and tape that matched his. The investigation kicked off when authorities spotted a suspicious black car near the hotel on the morning of the robbery. It was a wild case that kept everyone talking. Chief Keef, the Chicago rapper, was reportedly robbed by a group of men in 2019. The incident occurred at his home in Tarzana, California. According to reports, Chief Keef was at his residence when the robbers, who were described as armed and masked, gained entry into his house.
Very loud bang. Then 5-10 minutes after that, we heard the second probably shot.
They reportedly forced their way in and confronted him. Relax, they were not about to, abuse him. The goons made off with a significant amount of jewelry and cash. The burglary was described as being particularly violent, with the assailants using force to subdue anyone who resisted. Chief Keef, who was not injured in the incident, later cooperated with authorities in their investigation. It was a clear breach of Chief Keef's personal security measures. Chief Keef continued to focus on his music career and public appearances following the incident. In 2017, Nicki Minaj's Beverly Hills mansion was hit by burglars in what seemed like a well-planned heist. These clueless thieves didn't just steal, they trashed her place, leaving behind a huge mess. They got away with about $200,000 worth of jewelry and other expensive items, but it didn't stop there. They went overboard by flipping over furniture, destroying picture frames, and even slicing up Nikki's clothes. The police were shocked by the level of destruction. Although Nikki wasn't home at the time, the break-in left her property in ruins. The cops thought the robbery might have been personal because of how extreme the damage was. But here's where things get interesting. Back in 2017, Nikki was in an on-and-off relationship with rapper Meek Mill. They had been together since 2015 but had a rocky relationship that finally ended in early January 2017, just before the robbery. Their breakup was all over the news, and by the time of the break-in, Nikki had confirmed she was single. Now, I'm not saying anything, but the timing sure is curious. You can connect the dots however you like, but it definitely makes you wonder who might have been behind this wild robbery. The TV talent judge known as Simon Cowell became the target of a shocking burglary in his London mansion while he and his family were asleep. The thief broke into the house through a window and stole more than £500,000 worth of valuables, including expensive jewelry and cash. Even though Cowell and his family were unharmed, the whole situation left them pretty shaken. I mean, who wouldn't be freaked out knowing someone was creeping around your home while you slept? After the break-in, there were a lot of questions about the security at Simon's house. As you'd expect, they quickly upgraded their security to make sure nothing like that ever happened again. The thief later got identified as Darren February. The police eventually tracked him down. He already had a long criminal record, and he was convicted of the burglary. It wasn't his first time in trouble with the law, as he had been involved in several other burglaries. Some people joked that maybe February tried to become a pop star, and Simon gave him one of his infamous no's during an audition. In the end, February got what was coming to him, and Simon made sure his home was much safer moving forward. This break-in was definitely one of the more dramatic moments in Simon's life, but thankfully, everyone was okay.